All right, let's talk about adding domains to the platform. So when you get into the website builder and you're starting to build funnels or full-on websites, we actually host those files on the platform, but you still need a domain name to point to those files. So think about the domain as being the address, if you will, to the house, and the house being on our platform. So what we want to do is to have our address point to our house, right? And so we need to integrate a domain name from a third party. So if you use like GoDaddy or Namecheap or Bluehost, whatever you use, you can actually point those domains over to our system to make the websites show. So I'm going to show you in this video how to do that. So what you're going to do in the bottom left-hand corner, there's the settings button. We're going to click on settings, and this is going to bring up our business settings information. We want to hover over this and scroll down to domains. This is going to bring up our domain section. Right. So what we need to do, if you want to add a domain, is click this add new domain button. And it's going to have a drop down box for us to fill out. Here's where you would add your actual domain. And there's some instructions. Please make sure to have an A record pointing to this IP address or a CNAME record pointing to this. Now, I know that sounds a little bit confusing. And so it's important that we add some information in order on our domain host, or where we purchase the domains, in order to make sure to add it. So if we just add our website here first without having this, it's not going to connect. So our first step, what we're saying to do is to have an A record pointing to this IP address. So let's copy this IP address. And I know this is a little bit intimidating, but it's okay. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to Namecheap. This is the platform I use. Maybe you use GoDaddy or Bluehost. You can still do the same step on those platforms. You may need to have customer support. If you actually just call customer support and tell them you need to do this step, most of them will do this for you. If you need like a little extra help, or you can also watch this other video here to kind of figure out how to do the process, just in case this video is a little bit confusing for you. Now what we're going to do, we're going to jump over to Namecheap, and what we're looking for is our domain list. So you got to figure out where on your platform has all of your domains listed there. Usually on GoDaddy there's a domains button that you can do and drop down to manage your domains or domain manager, things like that. Now what we want to do is we want to scroll through our list and find the website that we want to integrate with. So I've got a lot of websites here. I'm going to use this alicosablackvelvet.com. This is for my wife's business, and I'm just going to highlight this domain. It's one we're not using, and I'm going to copy that domain name. And then I'm going to click manage. And what we're looking for is the DNS settings on the platform. Once you go through domain manager, you should see some kind of option for DNS. That's what you're looking for. So you want to click, in our case, we're going to select this advanced DNS. This is where we can add CNAME and ANAME records, right? And so if we go back to our instructions, it says we need an A record pointing to this IP address. So I'm going to copy that, and we'll jump back over to this, and we're going to add a new record. So see this button right here that says add new record? We'll click A record. And for A records, you want to use the @ symbol as your host. Where it says host, click @, and then it's saying value. This would be the IP address that we just copied over. And then we want to do the check. Now, our next step is it's asking for a CNAME record pointing to this. So we're going to copy this domain. And we're going to jump back over to our editor and click add new record. And we're going to scroll down and select CNAME. Now for CNAME records, that's where you do www. And for our target, we're going to do that web address that was on there. So as you can see, the instructions, A record pointing to this IP address, CNAME pointing to this one. Now we'll click check. And now that we've got both of those in there, we're going to give it a couple of seconds to kind of propagate and get access to it. And then we're going to jump back over to the domain editor, and we're going to add our domain here. Okay. So I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one since it's kind of a weird spelling. Make sure I've got it correctly. And I'm going to cut and copy that right into this box here. It says add your domain. after I've done these steps here. And if it hasn't had enough time to propagate, you're going to have to give it just a couple of seconds, maybe a few minutes to really show up. Sometimes it takes a little bit. There we go. Once we've got it on, we can select a funnel for the domain or the website for the domain if we want to link that up. I'm going to show you another way you can do that as well, but we'll just click cancel for right now. So as you can see, the website's there. Now we want to do it again, add new domain, and this time we want to do it without the www. So we'll click add. And yay, it's been successful. Now the reason why we did the same domain, one with www and one without, is because people type in websites in different ways. If we didn't do this step, the only one that would actually show up is, if they typed in the www, if that prospect goes to that website while typing www.alicosablackvelvet.com, that's when the site would show. But if we didn't have the www on there, it wouldn't actually show without doing this double step there. Okay. So once you've got that done, then what we need to do is select a route for like a default page for the domain. What's the very first page you want them to see if they go to that website address? So in our case, we're going to do the drop down here. If you already have a site built, a funnel built, they'll all populate here. You just got to find kind of like your home page. So do your home page, click save. And you want to do this for both domains. Click save. So now our website is linked up. If we were to go to this, it would actually pull up the website that we've got there. Now, the next thing, you'd scroll over to your sites and you would see either your website or funnel listed there. Click that. And then click on settings. And we need to select a domain for the website. So as you can see here, since we've integrated those, we have that here. So we'll select the domain and click save. And now our domain is set up. It should pull up the website connected.